Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Outsole Brothers channel, and this is my first impressions look on the BrandBlack Rare Metal 2. So this shoe comes at a hefty price of 250 bucks, but the quality is actually very nice. I'm actually pretty surprised at the quality. Like when I opened up the box and I picked up the shoe, I was like, ooh, this shoe feels really nice and very quality, which I don't really say a whole lot. So of course, it's good to know that, you know, if you're paying 250 bucks, the quality is actually really nice. It feels very well made. Nothing feels cheap about this shoe. But anyways, if you guys do want to cop, I'll leave a link in the description box. But let's get it started off with the outsole. We pretty much have a X pattern. You know, there's a whole bunch of X throughout this entire outsole. There's a lot of grooves as well. And there's a whole lot of rubber, so of course that will increase the durability of the outsole. And of course, as you guys can see, we have a Vibram Wrap Tech rubber outsole, right? So the rubber outsole pretty much wraps all the way here into the upper, which is pretty interesting. And of course, you guys can see it comes up acting as a sidewall, so that of course help with support, which we'll get into later. So how does the traction feel? It feels really good. You know, just trying it on my wood floors, it has a very solid stop, it feels like, and a nice little squeak too, so I really like that. So I'm pretty excited about the traction there. I mean, as you guys know, Vibram, BrandBlack partnered with Vibram, and they are using Vibram's technology on their shoes. It's more for like extra grip for use in like construction and stuff like that. You know, to grip through like slippery surfaces, slimy surfaces and stuff like that. So I really like that, and I'm very excited to try it out. Alright, moving on to the heel to toe transition, it feels pretty smooth. I mean, looking at it, I was like, ooh, it looks very clunky, but feeling it, like just right here, if you feel the actual cushion, there is a good amount of compression from the midsole. And as you guys can see, the rubber outsole does come up the cage, this midsole a lot. But it's not that stiff. This rubber outsole isn't that stiff, so it doesn't feel super clunky, especially here in the heel. We have a rounded shape as well, so it feels pretty nice here in the heel. Here in the forefoot, we have a pretty curved shape as well, and we have a good amount of forefoot flex. Look at that. So heel to toe transition right now feels pretty damn smooth. It's definitely not as stiff as I thought it would be. Alright, moving on to the cushioning setup. So here on the side of the shoe, it says Super Critical Jetlon, right? So as you guys know, Jetlon is a very nice cushioning setup. Very soft, but also you get a good amount of bounce as well. And here in the heel, like I said, you know, it looks very caged because of this outsole, but this rubber is actually pretty soft. But of course, I do think it does inhibit a little bit of compression here in the heel, but not a whole lot. There's still a little bit of compression. And one thing that I do like about it though is that the step-in comfort is pretty nice. You know, if you look at it, the strobel board does look pretty stiff, but walking around in it, you can definitely feel the Super Critical Jetlon, and step-in comfort's nice. You can definitely feel your foot digging into the cushion, which feels great. And also this cushioning setup feels really low to the ground, so I feel like it'll be a very responsive cushioning setup with a little bit of bounce and adequate impact protection. I don't think there's anything like crazy going on, like a super crazy zoom setup would be. It just feels like a nice responsive setup for me right now. Alright, moving on to the materials. So we have a good amount of things going on with the materials, right? So here in the toe box, it says it's a 4-layer fused material, and just feeling it right now, it feels kind of stiff, you know, but it feels really thin. It obviously is glued down, but I feel like it'll break in pretty nicely. But one thing to take away from this material, especially here in the forefoot, is that it's super supportive. So if you like a lot of support in your shoes, this is a great material. But also, like I said, this material feels really thin. And also this material is an ultralight monofilament military grade ripstop upper. So a ripstop upper is made of a nylon material, which has a specific like manufacturing process where it makes a material a lot more resistant to tears, which obviously is really good for durability. And then coming here into the midfoot, the material stays really thin. And then as far as the tongue goes, there's actually really no padding, but then it's just like this really stretchy material, which feels nice. I like a tongue where it kind of like stretches over your foot, and that's what this tongue does for me. It's an oversized tongue as well. Look at how large this tongue is, so it kind of stretches and wraps over the top of your foot. Here in the ankle area, there's very minimal padding, and this lining is made of a mesh material. So as far as the overall feeling goes, it feels very supportive, but also I feel like it'll break in and get like pretty soft. And the overall feeling of this material on foot feels really minimal, which is a good thing. I mean, they really use no padding in this upper. Also, as you guys can see, we have an extra kind of like eyelet system. So if you guys want like a little bit more of a customized fit and you want a little bit more lockdown, kind of like here in the ankle area or maybe even here in the midfoot, then you can put the laces through a few more eyelets if you guys would like. And also this shoe comes with a lace lock. I don't really think I'll use it. I'm probably just gonna tighten the laces, but if you guys want to keep that on, you guys can definitely do that. All right, moving on to the fit. This shoe fits me pretty damn well. I actually did get a half size up because they didn't have any like smaller sizes, but it still fits my foot really well. I'm actually even guessing if I went true to size, this shoe will fit me really snug. And just like the original Rare Metal, I mean, that shoe had a really nice fit for me personally. It was a very narrow fit with a super snug toe box, and that's what this shoe feels like as well. So I really like the fit so far, even though it is a little big. So if you have a wide foot or you like to have a roomier fit, I would suggest going up half a size or maybe even a full size. If you like to have a snug fit, you should be good true to size. All right, moving on to support and lockdown. I don't think there's going to be any issues in the shoe. For lateral containment, as you guys can see, the rubber outsole does come up to cage you a lot. And like I said before, this material feels very supportive. So here in the forefoot, here in the midfoot, and also here in the heel, I don't think there's going to be any issues with lateral containment. There is no internal TPU heel counter though, but honestly, you don't really need it. And as far as lateral stability goes, this shoe, I mean, there's really not outrigger, but it is a very low and wide base. So lateral stability feels like it's going to be good as well. All right, as far as the weight goes, I mean, this shoe feels extremely light. So I'm guessing maybe like 10 point something ounces. Yeah, so 10.62 ounces. If I went true to size, it'll probably even be like 10.4, 10.5 ounces, right? So extremely light shoe. It's very interesting because this shoe looks very industrial, kind of like a work boot, you know? It looks pretty clunky. It looks kind of like stiff and stuff like that, especially with this outsole design. But just having it on foot, it feels very minimal. It feels also supportive, which is a very interesting combination because usually if a material is super thin and very minimal, it's not super supportive, right? But I feel like BrandBlack blended those two very well together. And also, like I said, this rubber outsole doesn't really cage the cushion to the point where it's like too stiff, so it doesn't feel clunky or anything. So yeah, I mean, this shoe on foot feels really nice and very lightweight. All right, as far as the aesthetics go, I really like it. This colorway is called the Aqua Combo, and it's a great looking colorway in my opinion. I also really like the color shifting fuse here on the toe box. That's a nice little touch as well. So tell us what you guys think of the aesthetics down in the comment section below. So wrapping things up, just from a first impression standpoint, I'm really liking the shoe so far. It feels very supportive, but also really lightweight and very minimal on foot. Cushion, I'm liking so far. Doesn't feel clunky or anything. Traction feels very good. So yeah, everything about the shoe feels really nice so far. The only thing that sucks is the price, with the hefty price of 250 bucks. But other than that, I'm very excited to try this shoe out. But anyways, again, if you guys do want to cop, I'll leave a link in the description box. But that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.